On Thursday, two separate hour-long tobacco-related demonstrations were held at the EMU Amphitheater, a smoke in and a smoke out. The smoke in was organized by Lizzie Diamond, a member of the Coalition of On-Campus Smokers.
And then go just around the amphitheater, the EMU, and go and pick up cigarette butts. That'd be really awesome.
When people come to the amphitheater and light up a cigarette, they're expressing their right to smoke on campus, which is a right.
I understand where people are coming from, but it's like if you ban smoking, then should you also ban like other things that annoy people, like people riding their bike? You know, should you ban bikes because one person gets hit?
The Smoke Out was organized by ASUO President Amelie Rousseau, the Student Health Advisory Committee, and peer health educators as a response to the Smoke In.
We have statistics that show that there's no safe level of secondhand smoke. If you're walking behind somebody on your way to class on the sidewalk and you have asthma, that's going to affect the way you feel for the entire day and the way you have to go to class.
Both demonstrations come hot off the heels of an $800,000 grant to the U of O Office of Student Affairs. The grant came from Pacific Source Health Plans and will go towards a healthy campus initiative that will span 5 years. The initiative will have 3 priorities: exercise, nutrition, and tobacco. Rousseau hopes to make tobacco, and as a result, the smoke-free campus, the top priority.
We are implementing a culture change, so this policy would go into effect fall of 2012, and so that would give people enough time to do the promotion and education necessary to make this really effective. And so that means promoting this policy change on all materials for incoming students so that they would know when they move into the residence halls that this is an expectation. That takes pressure off RAs for enforcement.
One of the questions that remains is whether or not the smoke-free campus will be an enforceable policy change or if it will remain a symbolic measure. Some campuses, such as Lane Community College, have given public safety officers the authority to issue citations for smoking.
It's a possibility. I'm not in favor of it necessarily because I think that when you can have that peer-to-peer communication and that community enforcement, that's always going to be better and more positive.
I think the only reason that we haven't had one before, if I understand correctly, is that people confused a ban with the enforcement of the ban. And there was a fear that we were going to turn ourselves into a police state where we're chasing down people with cigarettes or snuff in their pocket. And that's not the case. What we simply want to do is send a message to everybody, faculty, staff, the community who come onto the campus, students, everybody, that tobacco is bad for you. It'll kill you. And we don't encourage it. In fact, we discourage it aggressively. I think the medical evidence is so clear and unambiguous that there isn't any reason institutionally that we shouldn't simply make this statement.
For both Diamond and Rousseau, the debate largely rests on what rights students have with regards to on-campus smoking, whether it's smokers or non-smokers, consumption or exposure.
I think smokers do have a right to smoke, but I think they should do it in their own homes. And I think that they shouldn't infringe on other people's right to walk around campus and be able to breathe.
There's been arguments that certain rights take precedence over other rights, which I personally think is kind of silly, but it's something we're allowed to do. It's something we can do. We're on public land, first of all. This is the United States of America. Cigarettes are legal. We're all over 18 and able to buy and smoke cigarettes. And it's something that we can do. And I think that the university should be a place where ideas are embraced and where actions are embraced. I mean, the university is a place where you're trying to find out who you are. What I would like to see is a conversation. Hopefully the smoke-in will start a conversation, and Amelie's Smoke Out will also start a conversation.